Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the utmost character of our world around us, and this time we will start from the consequences of one approach that can be summarized in this expression. Ein Volk, ein Reich, ein Führer. It means one nation, one population, one Reich, so one state one can say, and one leader. This expression greatly manifests socialist thinking, and nowadays we have this thinking manifested in the operation system of majority of computers with which our life is regulated, and Microsoft company being almost practically monopolist, having vast majority of operation system market, because not so many people use Linux and other operational system like me and many others, but on a global scale we are not so numerous yet. We have the situation that we can say one operation system, one set of solutions, and one bug in the system, and one catastrophe, one global catastrophe. Banks are not working, pharmacies are not working, airports are not working, everything collapses thanks to this stupid unification. Because, as I said, one operation system, one error, one big problem. And this is how socialism works, by unification, by treating people as a global entity, forgetting about individuals, forgetting about families, forgetting about old structures. Always socialism deconstructs everything and wants to build new human, but it never works at the end of the day. It always ends up in the disaster. And the same process we observe now in European Union, when the face of the process of European unification, of building so-called super European state, Mrs. Ursula von der Leyen, very much corrupted woman, who doesn't want to say the details of her deal with the director of Pfizer, Mr. Burla. It's quite surprising how descendants of former National Socialists make a deal with descendants of some Jewish mercantile families. This in this case Greek Sephardi, and they have no problem at all with difficult past, because business is business, and especially easy business. And somehow, as in every good in quotation good socialism, no one can be taken responsible for deeds and great corruption. And as we see, as it works in case of Mrs. Ursula, is that more corruption deeds this person commits, higher she goes in the hierarchy. And what she proposed in her expose as newly elected for the second time leader of the European Parliament and member of some European committees, she of course presents another model of socialist unified state with another Trotskys and Maoist like solutions for society, so complete decomposition, LGB and so on, and complete slaughter of the economy with pseudo-eco approaches. The shortest recipe for disaster and famine. It will not work, but before this project collapses completely, this German idealist, taken from its origin from Reformation, and later from such philosophers like Kant and Hegel, before it collapses, it will cause a lot of troubles. And we see that French Revolution was also inspired by Reformation, because the second country in which Reformation erupted after Germany was France. Huguenot movements, Calvinistic Huguenot movements, and from them the further development of their ideas led to French Revolution, later to Bolshevik Revolution, and now German Revolution, National Socialistic, and now Green Revolution we have currently. But we need to know the basics, and the basic come from the Reformation. Because what Reformation was? It was not Reformation. It was rejection of a reason and the tradition of interpretation of Holy Scripts. And when one rejects the tradition of interpretation, which was optimized, which was adapted to our reality, then one can fly to the land of fiction. But the problem is not that one can fly away to the land of fiction, because as long as fiction remains fiction, it's not a problem. But really, big trouble starts when one tries to implement this fiction into the reality. And Protestant people started doing it on a massive scale, like Jean Calvin, like Luther himself, and other reformers, Mr. Zwingli, creators of Anabaptist sects, and. Later we see divisions among Anglicanism, we have Presbyterianism, we have Puritanism, and later, of course, we have movements in Enlightenment age going to atheism and going to changing our political system and world. And of course, these idealistic people from saloons of bourgeoisie and aristocracy, which was stuffed with this not so wise so-called ideas of so-called Enlightenment age, they dig out the republican and democratic systems from antiquity and they try to implement them into our reality. What's the implementation? We see what the quality of politicians we have for the last 200 years and what really happened. I really like what Edmund Burke says, that the French Revolution took to power or allowed reaching the powerful positions for people who knew the state only from picture, because they were reading a lot of text. Not all of them they understood correctly, but they had no practical experience in ruling the state and society. How it ended up, the history of French Revolution show it to us, and we still are having hiccup after this event, because after religious war in Europe, especially after 30 years war, really brutal and so on, somehow Protestantism and Catholicism settled down and found the way of coexistence. But with this heritage of so-called Enlightenment age and another revolutionary waves, no one can find any way of coexistence. That's why our world always experience really tumultuous times and problems and attempts like a construction of European superstate by nowadays green version of socialism. We should do everything to stop it, to avoid another massive genocide. This is how I see it, and idealism shouldn't take over the reality, because reality will always win, and during the clash of reality and idealism, in which idealism will always fall, many losses will be inflicted to normal people and our environment and our world. That is why we need to work hard to stop it. All the best, have a nice day, bye.